Several generations have passed, moving a curse, and its bearer now is none other than Ooga Booga III. Beardy, hairy, muscular guy armed with a club that will off anyone who dares to cross his path. Just after he awakened, Ooga Booga went on a murder spree, killing everything that moved, including a weird crystal armadillo, and Gundred, the first boss that guarded the Firelink Shrine. Wait, hold on a second. Hey, okay, please, British and American and other English-speaking countries, it's called armadillo, okay? Armadillo, not armadillo. Armadillo sounds so dumb. It's called armadillo. Armadillo. Lovely animal. Armadillo. Okay, back to the game. After that, our caveman friend went to the side to have a friendly discussion with another man on robes, who had a real cool katana and definitely didn't kill me multiple times. Well, the lords won't come to perform their duties willingly, so it's Ooga Booga's task to club them into reason. That involves traversing Lothbric's wall, dealing with this fat guy, and having a club bong match against Board of the Boreal Valley. And guess what? We won! So we get to explore town for a bit and talk with the locals and whatever these ladies with the big sauce and cauldrons are. Wanna get speared by a giant? Then check out the hottest spot in town. The only downside is the giant does not distinguish between an ally or foe, so, you know, proceed at your own risk. Every risk has its own benefit, nevertheless, as Ooga Booga arrives to the giant's sacred rotten tree. What a weird boss design, right guys? But well, after smacking those vegetable balls enough times, the tree fell and our friendly caveman could proceed to get revenge on the katana guy. And hey, more dirty rags for him. After that pit stop, we continued exploring the undead settlement and made a big onion friend with whom we battled a fire demon that looked really scary but wasn't that big of a deal after all. After raising a glass to freedom... Okay, yeah, Hamilton still rocks. I'm sorry. They're releasing a Roblox game for... Why am I going off script so many times in this video? Okay, we acquired the big club and crossed the road of sacrifices to get to our next destination. Horrible creatures followed Ooga Booga to the very bonfire at the end of the road and murdered him, and wait, what's that? There is 2 knights right there and they didn't help? Oh boy, I was pissed. I crossed again the road, lit the bonfire and talked to them to recriminate their lack of assistance. They acted like they didn't do anything wrong, and so I decided to apply big club diplomacy and tackle them both. They beat my ass, so I escaped onto the next bonfire, and there I was outmaneuvered by a dog. Yeah, it's sad days for Ooga Booga, man. Sad days for Ooga Booga. But I decided to go back to face Horace and Henry, and although they were not playing fair, I managed to punish their mistakes severely, and the Silent Knight was the first to fall. Horace? More like deadass. And Henry's dead too. That's for not helping me, you bastards. After that first degree murder, Ooga Booga III went to visit the Crystal Sage to show him that magic is not real and he should die. And after that, he went to pay a visit to the First Lords, the Abyss Watchers. And what a fight that was. The Abyss Watchers moved elegantly, sliding across the floor and doing a lot of acrobatics within their fighting style, whereas Ooga Booga just tried to club them down. The Embered Abyss Watcher caught me off guard a couple of times, but in the end, Ooga Booga managed to get out on top. 1 lord done, 3 to go. We entered the catacombs after our victory, and deadly maze full of traps, dead ends, and goofy-ass spawn balls that destroy everything that dares to be on their path. However, Ooga Booga toured the place very chilled, and arrived at the wooden bridge that separated him from Wolnir's chamber pretty fast. Like, I am not lying, it took 4 minutes to get there. After cutting the bridge, so those weird spooky scary skeletons couldn't pursue me, I went to the battle against Wolnir, also known as weird skeleton giant that loves jewelry too much. It's a piece of cake to beat him, so it didn't take much to do so. Skill issue, Wolnir. I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, isn't it funny that skill issue is an evolution from the original Getty Good, which is an expression that was popularized with Dark Souls? Oh no? It is not funny? Well, that's awkward. Moving on, I guess. After returning to our home for a while to upgrade our club and battle a suspiciously lookalike of the Demon Asylum, Ooga Booga returned to the catacombs of Carthus to try and reach an optional area. He tried to break the bridge to make it down there, but the direct route didn't seem to work at all. Instead, I opted to go down the bridge using it as stairs, and that took us to this weird place guarded by a giant worm. We went to the rear end to fight an old demon king, lots of beasts, basilisks that definitely didn't curse Ooga Booga just like they did to his grandfather once, and then I dueled a guy with a big sword. With all that done, I thought we were prepared to annihilate the giant worm, and turns out that I was pretty much right. After becoming the Worm Slayer, the Paul Atreides of Lothric, Ooga Booga III returned to the Crystal Sage just in case magic was real and detoured from the main path until he reached a gargantuan cathedral. Inside that place, there were not one, but two giants that actually weren't much of a threat, and the fearsome cult of the Daikons of the Deep. Perhaps Dark Souls 3 hardest boss fight, the Deacons of the Deep managed to kill me because I went in without HP nor Estus, and yes, they were a joke, I got them on my second attempt. Let's f***ing go. The Daikons had a doll with them, and for some stupid reason that Vativadya definitely knows of, that doll disables the magic wall of crap, and so Ooga Booga was able to freely explore the valley and get wrecked by its locals. Pontiff Sullivan seemed like a great menace on my first attempt, and I considered for a second that I may be a little bit underleveled, but Ooga Booga wanted to prove me wrong, and so he went bonkers on the Pontiff. Leaving Sullivan on his deathbed, or should I say his death floor, we continued our ascent through the valley until we found a circular elevator. Hey, this is where Grandpa lived! We climbed the stairs to enter the cathedral and found Aldrich there, who wasn't pleased that a mere caveman had arrived with its devouring crepe. But Ooga Booga's diplomacy policy is known as the Big Club diplomacy, so he proceeded to enforce his demands onto the Devourer of Gods and returned him safely to his ashen throne. Okay, 2 more lords to go. Ooga Booga booked a trip for Ithil Dungeon, and there he got smoked by these Iron Mask ladies. However, the resilient caveman wanted to put up a fight, and so he chose the manslaughter route and proceeded to beat the crap out of everyone until he reached the profaned capital. Here, the gargoyles still whisper his name in the middle of the night, afraid the caveman is gonna come and murder their children. But for now, after a couple of mimics and fireball casting ladies, it was time to fight Bjorn. Yeah, that's not a lot of damage. Sure, I'll keep using the big club for 45 minutes to slowly drain his health and neglect to wield the obvious big-ass windy weapon designed to murder him. Okay, don't look for 10 seconds. Take this time to subscribe and stuff like the video, and you know the whole shebang. And oh look, we have defeated Bjorn without cheating at all. That's how convenient. It's awesome. It's great. Yeah, please move on. Please move on. Okay, so I was just teleported to a boss fight with the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. She grabbed me, depleted my HP, and then I proceeded to die. What the fuck happened? What happened is that this fight can be, and it usually gets done, before murdering our good old giant king. But Ooga Booga was entangled in other matters, so I guess it is now time to challenge the dancer to a waltz competition. 1, 2, dodge, 1, 2, dodge, 1, 2, dodge. Oh, this is easy. 1, 2, dodge, 1, 2, dodge, 1, 2, bonk. And the dancer of the Boreal Valley is now officially deceased. Just one Lord of the Flame is left, but before that, let's go pay a visit to Osiris, our friendly neighbor kid. And he turned into a dragon. Weird. Well, we should put him out of his misery, and while we are at it, learn the ways of the dragon. It's a Mickey tool that will come in handy later. Be sure to not fall into a secret area of the game though. Heads up, Champion Gundir's boss fight is next, and man, what a fight! Incredible jumps, rolls, fierce attacks, and a ruthless enemy that won't stop at nothing. However, if there's one thing that Ooga Booga embraces, is the power of physicality, and the only god he praises to is violence. Alright, and our reward is that now we are able to cure our maiden's blindness. I'm sure this won't become relevant in the nearby future. Anyways, Ooga Booga III kept going up to the highest tower of Lothric's castle to pay a visit to the twin princes. But first I had to make a pit stop to fight the Dragon Slayer armor, and even though his attacks hit like a fucking truck, honestly at this point our beloved caveman could withstand anything and take it like it was nothing. After beating the sentience out of that armor, we kept climbing. Had to explain again to the Crystal Sage that magic isn't real, and fight a 1v3 that went, it's complicated. All of that was to have the opportunity to kidnap the princess and put them into their throne. And so how did that went? Yeah, not so great. It was particularly difficult for me to get Lorien's rhythm and attack patterns, and I ended taking a lot of damage early on because of that, which in turn made me go into the second phase unprepared. However, after a couple of tries I got better at dodging and could now fight Lothric himself with chances of winning. I even managed to get him down off his brother, and after he was trying to resurrect him, I dealt the final blow to them and carried the princess back to their place. We were now ready to go to the kiln of the First Flame alongside with our not-so-blind maiden, but before that I knew that I had to get something done in order to not have you guys ask in the comment section. So Ooga Booga the Third went through the ethereal dungeon again, found a cool place to chill, and faced into the ways of the dragon. I woke up on an ancient land, and amazed by discovery, I decided to, you know what, let's cut the crap. I slayed the fucking dragon and went to battle the Nameless King, which is the cool part of this secret area, so cut to that, Weskis, please. What an incredible fight. That is blocked by some shitty and stupid and not interesting dragon fight first. So everybody knows that the King of the Storm is a terrible fight, but man does it get routinary after dying to the Nameless King a dozen of times or more. Anyways, there's not a lot to cover on this part of the fight, so we'll talk about the big bit, which was the Nameless King. Fast, dangerous, electrified, and powerful. Never I had faced a battle so uneven, and yet it didn't take as long as I thought it would to bring him to his knees. Because, you see, the Nameless King can have the power of dragons and thunder on his side, but Ooga Booga the Third has something even greater. A wooden club and a fucking dream. And just like that, the Nameless Dynasty came to an end after centuries of ruling the Dragon's Peak, and only one foe was standing between our caveman and victory. And I have to say, the battle against the Soul of Cinder is the perfect climax for the series, and it was honestly a really good challenge to end with. His signature combo was ruthless. I mean, if I got hit, I was basically dead, and overall he did punish me a lot. But determination and lacking a sense of value of my personal time, I grinded through the fight, until everyone that preceded me vanished. Ooga Booga kindled the First Flame, and Ooga Booga Jr. decided to seek his own path. So what was to come to Ooga Booga the Third? Well, he basically handed over the First Flame to his girlfriend, the Firekeeper, so they could run a business together. That's basically what happened. And so that was Dark Souls 3 as a caveman, and with that, the trilogy is complete. I'm thinking of making maybe an Elden Ring video in the future, but that will have to wait for now as we move on to other games. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope that we will meet again. Bye!